Smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
I hear that. Again, to me, the headline still is Cam shut the shit down, and that's something that does not happen 99% of the time in media.
It should be highlighted.
And it should be highlighted. He should be applauded for that.
Yeah, I want to praise that.
I've seen that happen a million times the other way, and it just doesn't happen. They'll laugh it off. They'll giggle. I don't mean Cam and Mace. I mean other hosts. And in 20 years, and I don't just mean urban media. I don't mean I mean
across the board, for sure.
Honestly, especially in mainstream media, I see this happen all the time, where the flirtation happens and nobody does anything. The few moments we see where it does get shut down and stuff like ESPN, I think with Molly, who we'll talk about in a minute, and things like that. But generally, it doesn't happen. So shout out to Cam for shutting it down. The only thing I just don't. Sometimes we only protect. And this isn't what Cam is doing, but this is how it could be heard by the audience. We only protect the woman if it add a deference to the other dude. Like, I don't want to disrespect her man, right? But let's say she doesn't have a man. We still should be defending her that way. And I think they would have. Yeah. Again, shout out to salute to them for the defense of her and for showing what it looks like to stand up for somebody.
Word.
Yeah.
Who you're not fucking.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. A lot of times we only do it if we have a personal interest in it, as opposed to I just care about this person, or I don't know her and I don't want this to happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think
we running a show as a production. We want to come off or show that we out here, supporting women and supporting our host.
What's going on, y'all? We are back with the files. All right, now listen. I know I haven't done a video in like a week. I dropped my podcast on Patreon. I got some good content over there. Check it out, all right? Now, this week, the reason why I didn't do any content is because I opened up my storefront this week, okay? I'm a licensed hemp retailer and distributor for the state of New York. Also, I'm a card licensee, provisional applicant. I've been approved to open up a conditional adult use recreational dispensary in New York. And I have a nice storefront in Dumbo. God blessed me with that. Thank God. So, you can go to my website. You guys to check that out. So yeah, that's what I was doing this week. I had to educate a lot of the people on different, cannabinoids like CBD, CBG, CBN, THCA. I have to educate the people in the neighborhood, let them know that we're licensed and things of that nature. And, but yeah, so while I was doing that, I was checking out the pod. You know what I'm saying? That ain't stop. And we got the files, right? So I feel like Marc Lamont Hill has been, talking in code up there on the Joe Budden podcast. Since Melissa Ford has been gone, things have felt a little off to me. Almost like we're not listening to regular pod talk anymore, but, maybe behind the scenes, human resources type talk. That's what I feel like is going on right now. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know, I was the first person to put it out there that Melissa was likely, going to sue the Joe Budden podcast. Once that video dropped, and once we hosted that space about it, the whole JBP crew seemed to move differently, okay? It was like they were suddenly at attention, watching us like, damn, how much do they really know? Right? And the proof is in the silence. They didn't even mention Mel's name, not even in the intro for weeks. But then all of a sudden, this week, her name pops up again.
Flip. Also, I saw a post that was concerning to me, so I want to send a shout out. I want to send love, thoughts, and prayers to Melissa Ford, wherever she is, whatever she's going through. I saw something on the gram yesterday. I haven't spoken to her, but much love to our sister in Christ, wherever you are, whatever you're going through. Feel better.
Yeah. To me, that's no coincidence. That's Marc Lamont Hill giving them a pep talk behind the scenes for real. Schooling them on how to handle a fragile co-host situation. This is what I see. This is what Dub analyzes, okay? Let me break this down. Let's talk about the breadcrumbs, right? Marc praised Cameron recently pointing out how he handled the Adrian Bronner situation. For context, Bronner got too flirtatious with Cam's co-host, even after being asked not to. Her boyfriend was in the room, which made it even worse. Cam still cut the check, right? He paid Adrian, but he told him, you know what I'm saying, you got to exit the show immediately, right? This was professional, clean, and respectful.
I did not know you looked that good in person.
My bad, bro. You're amazing.
All right, hey, we gonna have to ask you to go, my nigga. I have to ask you to go, man. I'm gonna pay you for your time, for being here. I appreciate you. I love you, my nigga.
I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, no. I can't. I asked you the first time. I don't have no problems with you, but I'm gonna pay you for your time. But you can't violate, bro. I told you that.
I'm not, though. I'm not.
Nah, I told you niggas boyfriends are here. You know when my brother
Oh,
know
shit,
that.
my bad, bro. My bad.
Nah. But I appreciate your time.
It's me.
Well, if you want to wait for us outside, you could, but I'm not going to sit in and not value your time neither.
Marc didn't just praise Cam, though. He broke it down. He made it clear that a woman doesn't need her boyfriend to be present for men to step in, okay? Disrespect should stop the second a woman feels uncomfortable. And when Marc said that, my mind went straight to all the times that JBP didn't step up for Mel. Remember young Berg? Joe sat back while Berg flirted with Mel right on air, okay? He ain't do too much.
Because when I think about you, you're beautiful, you're fearless, you're articulate, you're everything that you described.
Definitely trying to be that bridge, Playboy.
I'm keeping it 100.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's fire, bro.
That'd be a nice little bridge.
Bridge over troubled water.
Hey.
Yo, you two walking in a spot is movie.
And you Spike Lee.
All right? Remember Simba? Same deal. Mel visibly felt uncomfortable, yet it was still played out for laughs, okay? Ish always brought up Simba around Mel, okay? Now, Mel has had to laugh off almost every romantic narrative they've thrown at her. Not because it was all fun, but because she's learned to swallow her discomfort after that, Jason Lee podcast drama that she went through. She just brushes it off now and keeps it moving. All right? When Mel had boyfriends during the time of being on the Joe Budden podcast, the cast would tread lightly. But even then, it was always followed with some backhanded comment like, "We can't wait to meet him." So Marc praising Cam was also a subtle critique of Joe's crew. He was basically saying, y'all don't protect your co-host the way you should, okay? But I don't think they caught it. Was Marc purposely talking in code? Okay? I don't even know if Marc knew that he was dropping the breadcrumbs, okay? He was just eating. You usually don't know you dropping breadcrumbs, all right? Your mom tells you, look what you did. You made a mess while you eating. The food was just so good, okay? And you just dropping breadcrumbs. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to tell Marc, listen, you was dropping breadcrumbs. Now we got to clean it up. But he didn't stop there, okay? In another clip, Marc praised Stephen A. Smith for how he said goodbye to Molly Quirm, okay? Then Marc looked straight at Joe and asked, you taking notes?
And I will miss spending every weekday morning with her right by my side.
Now that's
taking notes on that?
Now that's how that's done. What'd you say, Marc?
You taking notes on that?
That's the deal.
Am I taking notes on that?
Like, if one of us were to depart, to be able to write something like that.
I thought this was very well said. If that's what you're asking,
Yeah.
Stephen A. does a great job with that, man. I had no worries.
Because a lot of times, yeah.
Look, when you do that stutter thing, it gives you away that you on bullshit.
I was not going to tell.
That's your tell?
Nigga, I was asking a question.
You
I
are
agree
such
with
a
him.
messy little bit.
What you doing?
Really, now you here you go.
He's awake now. Yeah. Yes.
Would you do it like that? If one of us get up out of here?
I would do it with less class.
Now, who asked their boss something like that? Unless they already had to sit that same boss down before. So I have to ask, did Mark have that talk with Joe about Mel? Because let's be real, okay? Let's be real here. Without Mark's steady hand in these last few weeks, the JBP would have face planted in all this negative press surrounding Mel. And if you notice, the whole month was gone. Nobody wished Mel well. They usually say, shout out to our sister in spirit, but they ain't say that. Only until Joe saw her Instagram post where she was in a hospital and all that, where they thought she was in a hospital. Now, today, on this most recent episode, Mark initiated Mel and all that. And then after that, Joe followed up like he was just repeating instructions. It just ain't the same. Something ain't right. All right, I got the files. Shout out to all the clippers out there, too. We all doing the work. We all doing the work out there. Shout out to all of y'all. What's the names we got? Lena Listens, Chatterbox, JBP Elevated. We got, Danny, my man Danny from the Stop. We all out here doing work. I mean, if some other people out here that I don't know, shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? We all get into. I feel like people haven't been respecting my clipping neither. That's another discussion. I feel like people haven't been respecting it. I feel like because they hating a little bit. That's how I feel. That's just the entrepreneur in me. In me, I always feel like if they ain't acknowledging Dub or something, they hating. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I could be right, I could be wrong, but I ain't see nobody on the camera yet, though. You know what I'm saying? That's not really a shot, but I ain't really see nobody do this on the reg. You know what I'm saying? So I just turn it on. See how I just throw Imani in back of the big lights and all of that. Even Imani, he hasn't been respecting my clipping and all of that. I ain't been liking that. And this is just an all-around video for the tube now. Like, I'm talking about this topic, but I'm sidestepping for a sec. Y'all ain't respecting the clipping, dog. I'm not jacking that, real. I'm not really jacking that, but it's all right. I don't really care, but I care. I gotta address it. I wouldn't be me if I ain't address it. I ain't gonna be fake. I'm gonna keep it on it. That's why this clipping is different. Cause they don't really do this. They don't do this. However, let me get back to the story, okay? Where was I at? Yeah, okay. So when Mark throws shade about Stephen A. Smith handling departures with professionalism, that's not random. That's strategy. That's Mark trying to prepare the team in case Mel really does exit. All right? This is what's going on. This is all damage control. Now, here's where it gets deeper. I don't think Mel is going to leave abruptly. I think she'll come back, play it cool, and then slowly fade out, saying she's too busy, that she'll pop in as a guest here and there. You know what I'm saying? That's a softer exit. And the fact that Mark is dropping breadcrumbs, it says a lot, okay? First is Cameron protecting his co-host. Then it's Stephen A. Smith saying goodbye to Molly, okay? This tells me he's laying the foundation for what's to come. And y'all know me, I already told Mark that I was doing a video about breaking this down just now on the spaces today, all right? I just gave y'all both the breadcrumbs. Mark was like, no, Dub, I'm sorry. I don't want to step on your hustle. I don't be dropping breadcrumbs. Get out of here, dog. Get out of here. We got it. I got it right here. We got the files. Okay? I got the files, Mark. Don't play with me like that. Don't try to throw me off. Can't throw me off. My guy Ian said, Dub, you're right. Mark drops breadcrumbs all the time. I know that. They all be dropping breadcrumbs. all the time. Mark was teaching, okay, but he don't want to make it known that he's doing that because it could be seen as outshining the master, okay? I don't know if you guys read the 48 Laws of Power, but that's an important rule right there. Mark does outshine the master a lot of the time, but a very important part of that rule is knowing how to reverse it. And Mark knows how to reverse it, okay? Which is saying things like, I don't drop breadcrumbs, I don't do that, I don't know what you're talking about. Like he be trying to act oblivious to what he's really doing, all right? So the question is, was Mark Lamont Hill talking to us or was he talking to Joe through us, okay? And do you think Mark Lamont Hill is purposely dropping these coded messages for us to catch or for his other, cast members to catch? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, all right? And do you think Mark Lamont Hill is the true unofficial HR at the JBP right now, cleaning up messes before they explode? I think so. You know what I'm saying? I saw Mark texting on the side before when Mel was there. I see a lot of funny stuff going on where I could say I think Mark is the unofficial HR of the JBP. But let me know. Let me know what you guys think. And do you think Joe could be better at stepping up for Mel? What do you guys think? Should he be more like Queen's Flip? Like, you know how Queen's Flip got that I got you, like that strong masculine energy. Do you think Joe should do that more when it comes to Mel? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, all right? And we will be back with the files.
My God, Dub too. That's my man, though.
Gang, gang.
That's my man, Big Dub.